Hi, I'm talking about Karl Marx's Capital. This clip is about the beginning of the book in chapter 1, which starts by saying the wealth of societies in which the capitalist mode of production prevails is an immense accumulation of commodities. And really Marx's intention in this chapter is to get us to think about this fact not as a fact of nature, but as a fact about a particular organisation of society. So we grow up knowing that these are not just apples. This is a commodity which has a number attached to it, a particular price. This is not just a smartphone, it's a commodity. It has a certain price attached to it. A certain number of apples is equal to one smartphone. This is not just a pair of gloves. Again, it's a commodity. A certain number of apples equals one pair of gloves. And Marx asks, what's going on socially in that equation? It is not to do with the use value of these commodities. If you're hungry, it doesn't matter how many pairs of gloves you've got or how many smartphones you've got. They won't give you anything to eat. If you want to make a phone call, it doesn't matter if you've got 1,000 apples, they won't help you make that phone call. So what's being equated when these commodities are equated? We grow up used to seeing things in the shops, they have numbers on them. What do those numbers represent? And Marx argues that what's being equated here is what these objects, and they may not be physical objects. It may be something like a kilowatt hour of electricity or a bus journey or a train journey. What these commodities, these use values which are exchanged, which are bought and sold, what their social substance in common is that they are products of labour. They may have other things in common, but the thing that they have in common socially, that makes them social objects to be equated, is that each of them represents a certain amount of the total labour time of society. And what is happening in exchange is that different parts of the labour time of society are being equated with each other. So much work making gloves is being equated with so much work making apples. Now, this is called the labour theory of value. In that form, it's common to Marx and quite a lot of other economists, and not just Adam Smith and Ricardo, which you may have heard of. If you look at Keynes's general theory, he says that he thinks it's wrong to talk about capital as productive, and he says he sympathises with the doctrine that everything is produced by labour, aided by art, what it used to be called art and is now called technique. It is preferable to regard labour as the sole factor of production. And he says, and he explains the reason why he's doing that is if you take something else as an autonomous factor of production, not something produced by labour, then you have an irresolvable problem about how you compare a certain amount of land, capital, labour. What is distinctive about Marx's labour theory of value is it is also a value theory of labour. And I will talk about that in a clip to come up soon.